everyone. Welcome to another session. From the invite, I understand that everyone knows. Like today, we are going to do a live workshop on how a spreadsheet can be converted into a custom application. Before moving ahead, let me introduce myself. I am Vishal. I am from GoldenLion Consulting Services, and today in this workshop, I have also joined by my two co-hosts, Nikita and Saeed. Welcome, Nikita and Saib, to this workshop.
Thank you, Vishal. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar.
Thank you. In this workshop, before moving on with the live, the demonstration of the system, like how we are going to convert a spreadsheet into a custom application, I would request Nikita if you can take us through the slides that you have prepared, and then we are going to go to the live the system. Over to you, Nikita.
Thank you so much, Vishal, for the introduction. And welcome everyone once more. So as Vishal mentioned about today's webinar, what we are going to cover, which is where we are going to show you how you can turn a certain spreadsheet into a particular functional app. Now, before getting into the fun part, which is actually transforming and showing you the demo, let us take a moment to talk about the platform itself, which is Zoho Creator, which makes it all possible. So what is Zoho Creator? Zoho offers an array of applications for the different operational functionalities. So whether you talk about your customer relationship management, you have Zoho CRM. For your campaigns, you have Zoho email marketing. You have Zoho Social for your social media management, Zoho Finance, and all of that. Now, when we talk about Zoho Creator, it is basically, as you can see, it's a low-code application development platform. So what it does, it means that you don't need to be a professional developer, or you don't need to have powerful knowledge about, developing a certain applications. It's a very easy platform where you can build custom applications and cater to your specific use cases. So whether you are managing data in multiple spreadsheets, maybe you're automating different kind of tasks, or even building minute applications for your team, Zoho Creator is going to give you the flexibility to create all these applications that basically fit your unique workflows, and that too without any mountains of coding tools. Now, today's webinar is not just going to be a system demo, but I would also like to know from you all about your viewpoints. If you have any views, if you have any comments to make against any of the points. So over here, let me ask you guys that you might have worked with multiple spreadsheets over the period of time while handling your business. Now, how many of you have actually ever thought that, the process that you're following on our spreadsheet, it could actually be converted into an actual custom app? So if you have any viewpoints over here, you have the question and answer box. I would love to know about your views. You can drop it over there. Now, moving on. Now that you know what Zoho Creator is, let's talk about what it actually offers and why it is such a game changer. So here we have noted down some of the key features that Zoho Creator has. Now, low-code platform, the first up thing. This means that you don't need to have 100 lines of, code to build a custom applications. It's a very easy drag and drop situation. You can do a bit of tweaking and you're good to go. You can basically think of it as an app building platform without having any kind of tech headaches. Next, spreadsheet to app. This is basically going to be a favorite to a lot of us. This is you can take as simple as something as a spreadsheet and turn into a complete functional interactive app. So that's exactly what we are going to also show you into this demonstration. So stay tuned on that. Next, we have the cross-platform support. So once your custom application is ready with Zoho Creator, it works everywhere. All you need is an internet connection. So whether you want to operate it from a desktop, whether you want to operate it from a mobile application or from your tablets, and whether if your team is in their office or out in the field, everyone can stay connected and updated with what is happening. Then you have workflow automations, which again makes a lot of our job so much simpler and easier. You can also automate routine tasks, whether your team is sending notifications, maybe updating records, or maybe you need to trigger some kind of approval. So all of this can be done without any kind of manual intervention. So what Zoho Creator does, you can simply go ahead, create it, and forget about it. The system is going to do the job for you. Then security and scalability, which is also a very big necessity, very big point that you need to keep in mind when you're choosing a right application, because when we talk about any industry, it changes. You grow, you do more advancement. So when it comes to security and scalability, these are something that is already built in with Zoho applications. So whether you are a solo entrepreneur or you are even running a small business, you can basically, your data is always protected. And of course, your app will keep on growing as your business grows. So as your business grows, you might need some customizations, more advancement to that particular tool or application. So you can build those customizations over the period of time. And then last but not the least, integration friendly. It plays well with a lot of other applications, whether you talk about any Zoho any of the Zoho applications. So if you want to integrate your Creator app with your Zoho CRM, Zoho projects, you can do that. And also, when we talk about any third-party applications, Zoho offers an open API, so integration becomes a seamless journey. Now, out of these key features, I would like to know that which of these features sounds most exciting to you guys, and which one you can relate to the most. So throughout we go through the presentation, if you have any viewpoints, please drop it down in the question answer box, and we will be there to answer them once we are done with the particular session. Now, moving on. Now that we are familiar with what Zoho Creator is, what its feature is, and what it brings to the table, we will have a quick look at what are the things that we are going to cover in today's session, starting with challenges with spreadsheets. So we will start by talking about the problems we all run into with spreadsheets, especially when you are trying to manage any kind of growing team, track operations, or even for a matter of fact, you want to collaborate with your team members or other departments. Spreadsheet becomes a very tedious thing to maintain things at. It is not actually what spreadsheet was meant for, right? Then transforming a spreadsheet into a custom app. So we'll be demonstrating how you can take a simple basic spreadsheet that a particular organization is handling to maintain different kind of records, and how that can be converted into a fully functional app using Zoho Creator, and that too without any kind of heavy coding. Next, we will be tailoring the app for the operations team. So we will make it useful for the particular concerned team that it is built for. That will include adding up some kind of logic, structure, some relevant fields that basically matters or is relevant to your use case of the particular application. Automating the real-time visibility, we will be also adding some kind of automations to the system, because what is better than a smart app, right? That basically works for you. You can simply rely on the app. You don't have to be always on the tip and make sure that you remember things and do them on time. You can simply go ahead, automate, schedule them with the particular system. And finally, we will also wrap up the session with an interactive question answer session. So if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to drop them in the question answer box at any point of time. Now, by the end of this particular session today, what is the goal that we are aiming at? It is simple. It is basically, we want you to understand that how easy or how convenient it is to take something as simple as a spreadsheet that you're working on and make an app out of it, which is functional, live, and keeps on working with every changing time, right? You don't have to rely on your old spreadsheet data. Now, moving on. So we have basically taken a use case, a particular very easy use case to demonstrate a way that why we are transitioning from a spreadsheet to a particular app. So let's look at a real life example of how Zoho Creator can make a big impact. And here we are talking as real as it can get. So we are talking about a biscuit factory over here. This is going to be a very simple use case, but then also I would request you guys to keep in mind that this is something that you can relate to, and this can be applicable for different industries, for different use cases. So that's the aim over here. Now, here we are talking about a biscuit factory who was struggling with prevalent issues, which is management, maintenance management. Their logs were all over the place. They were relying on sticky notes on the machine, handwritten reports, or even spreadsheets that were being emailed around. So there was no unified system where they could manage the details or rely on the details. Sounds like a big mess and something that we all have faced at some point or the other while handling our business. So here's what they did with the Zoho Creator application. Maintenance staff started logging their work digitally right from their mobile devices while they were on the job. So they didn't have to wait to get into a particular system and then log their work. As you can go ahead and access your application from your mobile or tablets, they can do it right on their job site. Supervisors got real-time updates. So whether if it was a task being completed on time or any kind of task being delayed, they got live instant updates so they could take actionable insights into that. And then also the system started sending them automated daily reminders. It could be for scheduling servicing or maybe AMCs. Hence, there was no more of, relying on your memory or any manual tracking. The system was doing it all for you. So what was the result they faced? There was fewer breakdown, there was less chaos, and a lot more focus than in what they actually did good, that is making biscuits instead of fixing machines, right? So moving on here, let us have a quick look at the challenges that they were facing. So before Zoho Creator came into the picture, the biscuit factory was facing a lot of same problems that many of us deal with, especially with relying on spreadsheets and scattered notes to manage operations. First thing, maintenance records were scattered. Some were in Excel sheets and others scribbled in notebooks or worse on papers, which actually never made it to the office. So there was no single system to rely on for the source of truth, right? Now, secondly, service dates were often forgotten. So without automated reminders or a centralized system, machine would go without servicing for months until they actually broke down. So by the point that they would realize it was already too late. The time was lost. Third, there was no historical visibility. There was no way, basically, when you are certainly manufacturing biscuits, you deal with heavy machineries, right? And you also need to keep track of those machineries, whether they are being serviced on time, whether they are functioning and right or not. So with no historical visibility, there is no way actually to track the machine issue, whether it had any kind of issue in the last month or in the last 6 months, or even for the matter of fact, the cost analysis. So how much was spent on a certain machine maintenance. There was no particular centralized system to get all those details right on track. And finally, the staff, they were wasting their time. Their work hours were being going in hunting with missing records, missing data. So there was a lot of productivity that took hit. And this also actually and gradually reflected in the workers' morale. So they also felt a bit, under the work pressure as things did not go right. So these are few challenges that they were facing. Now, if there are any of these challenges that you guys can relate to, I would like to know about them. And moving forward, now, once the Zoho Creator application came into the picture, what is the transformation that happened? So with Zoho Creator in place, the maintenance process actually became quite fast, organized, and it was completely digital then. So first thing, the maintenance person got to log their work directly from a mobile or a tablet, which means there was no paper, no Excel, nothing of those unreliable platforms where you can miss or forget data. So by the end of, so it basically took a minute, to basically go ahead and update details through a phone application. It is quite convenient. We all know how convenient using mobile applications are. We are doing it daily. Secondly, all the details that went into a same simple form. So it went into the same simple application. And users could select the machine, they could enter the time, parts used, and even if they had to upload any kind of pictures, images, they could do all that within the Creator application itself. Now, as soon as the form was submitted, the supervisors too got email notifications. So the email notification is saying, so there was no chasing, no manual follow-ups. People did not have to keep a complete check all the time on their workers, whether things were being done on time or not. Updates were happening all real time. And then, of course, the automated reminders that we were talking about. So the app started sending automated reminders. So whether it was an upcoming service, AMC renewal, or any scheduled maintenance, for a matter of fact, the app did all the activities and stayed proactive instead of the team could stay reactive. And then finally, everything with a system in place and every data in the system, everything was searchable at any time. So you need to, so if the team needed to find out any specific information regarding a machine, or maybe even filter repair cost for a particular machinery, they could simply rely on the system, filter out the data, and they're good to go. Everything was at their fingertip. So this was not just basically a tech upgrade for the particular biscuit factory. It was also a way of upgrading how the workers work, making things easier, simpler, and more manageable. Now, let us take a quick side-by-side look. So we're going to, of course, get into the demo now, which Saeed is going to take us through. But before we get into the demo, let me give you a quick note of what you are going to notice in the demo. So you can keep these things in mind, that these are the changes you are going to see transforming from Excel to the application. Now, first thing, when we talk about the differences, we talk about data entry. When we talk about the Excel, it is basically manual. You have to manually enter the data. So you open a file, you basically scroll down, type things, and then there are chances of mistyping as well. But whereas in Zoho Creator, it was simply a tap and go situation. It's basically a bit much more structured and accessible right at the source of work. Then when you talk about finding information, when you have a system, you rely on the data. You want to look at the data when you need to, right? You want the data to be available at the right time. So when it came to Excel, you had to basically users basically have to search it manually, endless filters, use different kind of button combinations. But with Zoho Creator app, things could easily be filtered, and there was no such digging or delay of finding the right information. When it comes to notifications, reminders, and another very important point, Excel, it basically does not have any such functionality to give you notification and reminders. If someone misses a date or a task, well, you find it the hard way. But then when it comes to Zoho Creator, the apps could actually send you email notification, alerts, or reminders so that nobody forgets a particular service date or a renewal. So these things could actually matters in the long run of the business, maintaining health of the business. Accuracy of the data. So in an Excel, it is so easy to make typing errors when you're typing data, or even leave certain fields blank. But with Zoho Creator, it is we can easily do built-in validation so that you can make sure that when a particular user is entering any data or creating a record, the right data is entered into the system. And also finally, reporting. It is manual with Excel. You have to do a lot of manual job, create pivot tables, create different kind of charts and everything. But with Zoho Creator, you get pre-built dashboards. So you have the data in your system. The dashboards keeps on updating live throughout whenever any data is being added, whenever there is a data change, status change, it shows everything in the particular dashboard that you have created. Now with that, I will hand it over to Saeed, and I will request him to take us through the particular system demo. Over to you, Saeed.
For such an excellent presentation. Now, let me start with here. I would like to start from the Excel, which was maintained by the factory. So, is my screen visible?
Yes, Saeed, it's visible. But
Okay. Let's start with the Excel sheet, which the factory was maintaining. Here, as we can see, I have taken 4 sheets that were used by the factory. First one is the machine master. Second is the tab related to the maintenance details. Next, we have the service schedule. And then we have the production loss. Now, in the machine master, as we can see, the factory was maintaining few details about each and every machinery they had. And I have noted some common problems that would happen if we maintain this information in Excel. For example, if we have the mixed type of capacity column, here we can see some units are written as 500 units per hour, some are 200 units per hour, some maybe for 4 hours or different units. We also have a comma between 1200. Here, it is not possible to calculate any capacity automatically using this Excel sheet. Now, it is very important that we have the capacity having some numerical fields as well as characters. Here it is very difficult to calculate as we are not maintaining the EOM, the unit of measurement, and the numerical field separate. We also have some problems with the duplicate machine rows. For example, there are no validations that can be added in Excel for maintaining two different or same machine codes that are used twice. Whereas in Zoho Creator application, you can properly validate that no one is allowed to enter duplicate machine codes so that you have proper data. Next, we have some proper validations that are not able to be applied in this Excel sheet. As we know, we cannot apply any mandatory validations. There may be some fields which are really mandatory to us. For example, the capacity, the name, and the machine ID, which makes it unique from any other machine in the factory. So these type of validations, which are mandatory fields, can be applied in Zoho Creator. Next, we have some date format problems where over the years, who are maintaining this Excel, maybe from 3 years, 5 years along the line, some have written in a different format of date, which is not aligned properly. Whereas Zoho Creator gives you a facility to select the date using a calendar so that no one can make mistakes. Next, we have some unused filter that is there so that we can find which machinery is going to be used, or some may be in maintenance, some may be inactive or dismantled. Here, some may write Y, some may write yes. So there is no specific there is no specific drop down to maintain this information. Whereas in Zoho Creator, you can actually create a drop down or a checkbox to understand clearly if a machine is now in a working condition. Here we are also missing some important details about the service and the aims related information, which is present in some other sheets. So we cannot have a single view for the whole information of a particular machinery. Let us go to the next sheet where the factory is maintaining some machinery information. We also see here that there are some inconsistent date format problems. Anyone can easily input invalid data in the Excel. For example, here in the operator, someone may write XYZ, whereas in Zoho Creator, you can properly align the user to select the employee of your factory so that this operator is the name of an employee who is actually working. Next, we have some mixed time formats, that is 2 hours, 30 minutes. Some may write in decimal, some may have some character value in this time field. So this is very hard to normalize and very hard to calculate because the time taken for the maintenance is very crucial to calculate the production loss in the factory. Next, there are some blank values in the loss units. The production loss is sometimes not maintained properly. Whereas in the next part, when I'll show you the Zoho Creator app, we have calculated this production loss automatically so that there is no manual intervention as well as anyone cannot miss it. The last point where I have written that few fields are not designed or maintained properly. Suppose when you are creating a system, you create in such a way that you maintain each and every information which are crucial regarding the maintenance. For example, here we can also maintain who has repaired this machine. So whenever there is a next maintenance, you can understand if there is a fault with the parts, with the person who has repaired, or any other issues. Next, we will go to the service schedule. Here, this sheet was maintained by the factory to maintain or understand when is the next service date. Here, it is manually maintained. There is no authentic track who has actually entered this data. Maybe this date can be wrong, but you cannot understand if an Excel is accessed by 3 operators in 3 shifts of your factory. So you cannot actually track who has entered this wrong information. Whereas in Zoho Creator, you can actually track who has entered the data because each and every user has a different ID password to log in and have different access to different forms in the system. Next, there is no feasibility of real-time updates. Whereas in Zoho Creator, I will show you how real-time updates can take place. Now, these dates also needs to be calculated manually. Maybe the service due is in every 30 days. For a machine, for example, CNC lathe, the service frequency is 30 days. So if it is serviced today, you have to manually calculate for each and every machine that are serviced. Some may be under 15 days, some may be after 20 days, some may be after 30 days. But Zoho Creator calculates it automatically. Here also we can see some inconsistent date formats. And also there are some important machinery details missing, which may be in the machine master. Now, next we will show the last tab of this Excel sheet, where the production loss report is created. Here we have the machinery name, the downtime hours, and total production loss that is calculated manually, and the maintenance count to understand how many times this machine has been maintained or the service. So we have some common problems here that it takes time to update data everywhere. For this simple machine, you have to enter the data in the maintenance tab. You have to create the service schedule, and then you have to enter the production loss, create this report. So input of same data takes a lot of time for the user to maintain in Excel. Next, we have this maintenance count, which is not yet automated, whereas in Zoho, it will automatically calculate the times the machine was serviced. Next, there is no comprehensive view of weekly or monthly report. You have to maintain it manually. There are again some inconsistent machinery name format. There may be some spelling mistakes, or the machinery name may have been entered wrong. So that also cannot be handled here. Also, there are no alarm and alert facility, which is very important to understand the production loss in a week due to a particular machine. Then that is very alarming that you need to take care of that machine and understand what is the actual problem. But in Zoho Creator, you can set custom alerts and alarm so that you get alerted when there is a lot of production loss or the service is due from a lot of long time, and etc. Now, I will take you to the Zoho Creator application, which we have prepared for this webinar. Please keep in mind that we have created this application for the webinar purpose only, whereas it has a lot of more feasibility according to your requirements and other applications. Now, I have created a machine master, a maintenance log, and some reports. Let me start from the machine master. Here is a list view of all the machines that are actually there in your factory. You can easily filter out from here machines which are under maintenance, which are active, as well as inactive machines. You have this single view regarding a machine having all the information here. Let me get inside and show you some information that we have maintained for this webinar. We have this machinery ID, which is unique, and also a mandatory field having a red color star mark, which will let you fill up. We also have machinery name. We have also maintained the manufacturer and the production capacity per hour. We can also have custom unit of measurement for each and every machinery. Now for this demo, I have created per hour, that is 120. Number of operators are 2, so that you can understand how much manpower is required to run your factory in full fledged. Next, we have the status. It is a drop down so that you have no chance of spelling mistake, that is active, under maintenance, and inactive. At the AMC renewal date, this is very important so that you get proper alerts for a period of time. Like if you want a reminder before 15 days or before 20 days of the last date of initial. We have the AMC cost so that you can understand what is the yearly expenses of the AMC to maintain all the machines in your factory. We have the last service date, which is actually calculated automatically, which I'll show you in a later stage now. We have the service frequency, which is in days, that is 30. we can only enter numerical values here. There is no chance of entering invalid data. We also have the next service date, which is again calculated automatically. That is 7th September. Now, all this machinery information has to be fed for once. Now, this information will be used in any other logs or maintenance logs in any other forms or information. Let me show you the maintenance log. Here is the list view of maintenance log, which is grouped by the machine. So here you can have the proper history of this machine. For example, machine 1 hydraulic press. This machine was maintained or serviced 2 times in this year. That is on 8 August and 9 July. So you can understand the total cost of maintenance for this machine in this year, total time that is taken, and other information is also available here. Let me get inside and show you what are the information that are maintained. Here we have the machinery name, which is again not a manual entry. You can simply select from the drop down below. This information is fetched from the machine masters. Next, we have the date. We have a simple calendar. There is no chance of date format problems. We have the operated by information, which is Amit Sharma for now. Let me tell you that for this webinar, we have kept this field as a single line that you have to write it manually. Whereas for next use case or for a detailed system, we can keep it in a lookup field. If we have an employee master and we have separated laborers, maintenance team, supervisors separately in the employee master, we can easily ensure that you can select a employee name under this operated by field. So
So
that
over here, Saib, you basically mean that for all of these employees, we can create master data, right? And we can maintain that way.
in the
So that
system, we can create an employee master and
Right.
ensure that when you're filling up this maintenance log, you can select same like the machinery, you can select the employee names in the operated by field.
Right.
You don't have to write that manually again. Here is the maintenance time that was taken, that is 30 minutes. Here you can only enter the data in hours and minutes format and ensure there is no improper data. This maintenance time is very important to calculate the total production loss, which I'll show you. Next, we have the description of work so that you have proper details. What was the work done? What parts were replaced? Or what service was done during this period? We have the shift so that you can track the production loss, the maintenance time for every shift on every day. So we have kept the morning, evening, and night shift for this webinar, whereas you for your use case, it may be only morning or other shifts also. We have the maintenance type where we have kept 2 options, that is preventive and corrective. Again, same like operated by, we have kept repaired by as a single line field, whereas we can also keep it as an lookup field of the employee master, where the names will be fetched directly from the employee master and the names who are present in the maintenance team. Now, we have a parts used section where we have kept it as a multi-line field, where you have to write each and every parts used. Still, we have a feasibility of keeping it as a subform or a lookup, where you can directly select the name of the part, the number of units of part that is used, and this selection will ensure that your inventory is properly updated and you get timely alerts when you need to procure some extra parts from other suppliers. So that also can be done here. Whereas for this webinar, we have kept it as a multi-line field. Next, we have the cost incurred value. We have written it as 500 rupees as a currency fee, whereas this can also be auto-calculated based on the parts used section, where if you select the parts used the total cost of the parts will be added as a cost incurred value. For this webinar, we have kept it manually as a currency field. Next, we have the supervisor, same like operated by and prepared by. This can also fetch supervisors from your employee master so that you can select the names from there. Now we have two auto-calculated fields, which are like focus right now, where next service due is calculated automatically. Let me show you an example where the date is 8th August and the service frequency is 30 days. The next service due is automatically calculated as 7th September. If I change the date to 9th September, the date will automatically change to 8th September. If I change the date to 10th September, the next service due also will be updated. In this way, the production loss is also calculated. If the maintenance time is 30 minutes, the total production capacity of this machine was 120 biscuits per hour. Now, we have 60 units of production loss. This is not manually entered. These are automatic calculated values. For this webinar, we have kept the production loss calculation based on the capacity of production and the maintenance time. Whereas, for your use case, this can have a different formula which is totally customizable in Zoho. After this maintenance log and this information is maintained and applied, we have two reports for now. Whereas we can also create different charts, pie chart or different views for your requirement. For now, we have kept two important reports, overdue maintenance and production loss summary. For the overdue maintenance, we have filtered those records which are not serviced in the due date, where we have this 5 machines, machinery name, the production capacity, and the last service date. So that we can understand we need to service these machineries under right time. If you want to take a printout of this, you can easily take a print from here. You can easily export in different formats like Excel, PDF, HTML, JSON, and other formats, so that you can also hand it over to the maintenance team and take necessary action. Here, after the maintenance overview has been checked, you can also go to production loss summary, where I have done specific grouping with the machine. For an example, let us take 2025 year. We can filter it from the date and we can check for this particular machinery over the year, over the month, or weekly reports or daily report. We can check and with an easy filter that what was the total production loss. For this machinery, it was serviced 2 times and it has taken 2 hours 45 minutes maintenance, and the total production loss was 330 units. Now we can see for different machineries, we have got for this year, we have got the number of service has been done and the total production loss. So this is a report that is very important to track the total production loss for each and every unit. You have this information here. Again, this information or this report is again totally customized, where if you click on it, you can also see more information here. You can also take and print out. You can also save it as a PDF, and you can also filter it from here. Like if you want to filter a date, if you want to see a particular machinery, you can easily filter out here. Now, apart from this system, for this webinar, I have also created an automatic reminder that is triggered. Let me show you. This is an email, a reminder email, which will be sent to you at every day 9 a.m. Again, the time is customizable, the email format is customizable, and each and every information that is present here is customized. For this webinar, I have created an example automatic reminder email that is triggered at 9 a.m. every day in the morning, so that you can understand which machine's service is due in next 7 days. Again, this 7 days is totally customized. If you want a reminder for a machine service that is due in next 10 days or maybe next 15 days, you can easily customize here and get that reminder, those filtered machines, so that you can take necessary action. Here we have the machinery ID, machinery name. Due is automatically calculated by the machine and also the due date. This information is also customizable, where you can add more information, more calculated fields as per your requirement. Now, we also have the AMC renewals. For this webinar, I have kept it as 15 days, where a reminder will be sent to you before 15 days, where the AMC has to be renewed. Now, machines are the machines where the expiry date is under 15 days. For example, machine 2's AOC renewal date is under next 9 days. Machine 10 under next 3 days. So that if you update the information in the system that you have done the renewal of the AMC, in the next day's mail, you will not get this machine name under this value. So that you have proper updated information in everyday morning. Next, we have the section of overdue maintenance that was not serviced in proper time. Even after the reminders, you have these machines which is overdue by 4 days, which is overdue by 3 days. We all have this information. Again, this information is customizable, where you can also fetch the last service date here and other information related to this machinery. You also have the overdue AMC information. The machines which AMC was not renewed in time. We have machine 3, for example, where CMC date is overdue from last 193 days. This is very important so that you can have this data where the AMC and service is due. In this email, you can add more recipients as well as more information, and you can totally customize this email. This was all from my side. Now I'll hand over it to Nikita so that she can continue.
Thank you so much, Saeed. It was a wonderful presentation and wonderful demo that you have given us through, and it was quite insightful. I think a lot of our audience have taken some kind of takeaways from here. So following this particular demonstration, let us look at the business impact. How did it actually make an impact in this particular biscuit industry or this particular biscuit factory? Now, if we come down to this particular impacts on your screen, as you see, real-time alerts equals to faster responses. So what happened once they started getting the real-time alerts, there were, of course, faster responses, faster actionable insights they were taking. So things were much more getting much more on time. There were timely actions taken. No missed AMCs or service deadlines. So there was no missing out on any of the servicing dates or crucial follow-up. If a particular machinery needed some kind of attention, they knew they have the data to rely on and see and make those particular decisions. Mobile first, which is a faster on-the-go entries. So again, for this kind of activities, for the maintenance team, for the production team, for whom we can make these applications, they are not always in front of the system. They are not always on their particular system that they can log in and update. So as a mobile application is quite a convenient one, they can go ahead, put some real-time updates that are again available to the particular supervisor. So everything is faster. There is less time wasted in updating the information. Nobody had to wait till the end of the day. Tracking downtime cost with reports. So with proper data, proper maintenance of data, proper maintenance of maintenance cost and everything, tracking the downtimes, it also helped in generating the right reports that helped you that helped them understand the business health, whether there were any particular actionable sites or measurable sites that they need to take based on the reports or the downtime. They knew what was happening, so they could be ready for the future, ready for what was coming in. And again, the last but not the least, the better planning with a clear machine history. When you have for every business, it is not just for this particular biscuit factory or any production, for any business to plan right according to the industry, you need to have the right machinery history, or even for a matter of fact, the right data history, so that you know what has happened, what is going on, and what you need to do to make it better, to take the right steps. So that was the complete business impact for this particular biscuit industry. And at the same time, it says without going that these options or these points, features are relevant to quite every industry that we talk about. Some way or the other, you can relate to it. And if you think that this is something that is useful to you, or you have any kind of unique use cases that you would like to discuss, we are here for you. As a Zoho partner, we would love to take up those discussions. Now, the reason that we have taken this particular demonstration and why you should choose us. So why implement Zoho Creator or GoldenLion? So giving our understanding, a lot of you of our existing customers are available over here. So as you all are aware, thank you for joining the session. Given a 15 years of experience in the Zoho suite of applications, we have implemented this industry solutions for different industries. So we have a good fair amount of knowledge when it comes to that. Then we have a dedicated 30 members of team who are completely certified with different Zoho applications, and we keep on reviewing our knowledge. So everything that is happening in Zoho, we stay up to date, and it again gives you a clearer idea or a better confidence to work with the right people. We have had the chance to serve a lot of amazing customers globally. So we have served up to 900 customers across 90 plus countries for different specific industry solutions from different industries with different Zoho applications. And something that we are really proud of is the number of testimonials. So if you go amongst the Zoho partners worldwide, we have a fair share of holding the right number of testimonials, which is again available at our website. So you can simply come down to our website to know more about us, which is www.glionconsulting.com. Here you will find a lot about the Zoho products, the solutions that we offer. You will find the customer testimonials, the experience that they have while working with us. And if you want to know more in detail, if you want to have a one-on-one session with us, you will find the calendar link right on your screen. So you can select a preferable date and time that suits you, send us a request, and we'll share the meeting details with you. And we would be more than happy to take these things forward and have a one-on-one discussion. Now, with that, we will like to wind up the particular demonstration. Now, if you have any kind of questions for us, we would like to take them now.
Thank you, Nikita, for the lovely presentation. Thank you, Said, for taking us through the applications, and you also showed us like how a spreadsheet can be converted into a custom application. It was a great a demonstration that you have both have given us. Now, if you have any questions, please drop your questions in the question and answer chat box. We would love to answer your questions. So I see there are no further questions. In case if you have any questions, please drop us your queries in the question answer chat box. Okay, so I understand that there are no further questions, but in case if you have any queries, you can come and if you want to share, if you want to discuss about your custom requirement, you can definitely visit our the website. It's www.glionconsulting.com. You can also book a slot right from our website, and we would love to take the discussion one-on-one. So thank you everyone for joining the session. We wish you very good luck. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.